All right, welcome in. It is a brand new edition of the RSL Show here on the KSL Sports Network. I'm Alex Napoles. That's Josh Clark, and we get you ready for Real Salt Lake preseason because, Josh, I mean, depending on when people hear this recording, either the first preseason game is about to happen or the first preseason game had just happened because it is happening Thursday morning at 8 a.m. local Utah time, and that, of course, will be streaming on rsl.com, but it's here. We're ready. Preseason is upon us.
That was quick. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quick, man. It felt like it was. I mean, we were recording 2 weeks ago, and it felt like it seemed like we still had plenty of time to get ready for preseason. And now, people are getting ready for preseason. People have reported, and now they're over in Portugal, and they're about to play their first game, man.
And now we have to get back to being consistent.
Yep.
It's that time of year, so I hope you guys are ready to hear from us. I guess this confirms that I'll do this season. I was on the fence.
Josh is back. We've signed him back for a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but I mean, apparently I just tricked myself because here I am, and it's preseason 2026. So, guess I'll do another year.
You know what? I feel like last episode we were very salty, and we were very salty, and so new year, new me type deal. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more optimistic about this season, Josh. Despite us still waiting for signings, despite us still waiting for things to happen, I am very optimistic for Real Salt Lake heading into 2026.
Yeah, I'll switch to optimistic too. I'm still bitter, salty. That's not going away, but I'll give it a dose of optimism just based on the fact that we have $7 million in GAM to spend.
Yeah, man.
Really curious how they utilize that pot of money.
Absolutely. We'll start there. The GAM reports were released earlier this week, and with that GAM report came of every Major League Soccer club and the funds that they have available at the moment as of January 20th is what it says at the top. And so Real Salt Lake, the second in MLS, second team in Major League Soccer as far as general allocation money goes. Of course, general allocation money is used to bring in players. It's used to buy down DPs. It's used for various reasons. Typically, guys on GAM contracts are guys that are on the upper echelon portion of your senior roster. Brian Vera was a GAM player. Justin Glad is a GAM player. Those are the guys, right, who are kind of like at that DP level, but you don't want to spend the DP money on them. Yep. Maybe they're not even that quite of a DP level player, but it's a very important function of the way the way MLS roster rules are set up. And so right now, Real Salt Lake has the second best with $6,947,461 million available in GAM.
Question is, Alex, if we don't use it, do we get interest?
No. No, it just
let's use it, my guys.
It just sits there. It just sits there, and so the money is there, Josh. The funds are there to bring in top caliber players, and I know, Pablo Mastroeni said time and time again, you're never going to get a Son here. You're never going to get that type of player, but the money is there for you to be a big spender in MLS.
Yeah,
let's use it.
You don't have. We've seen it proven time and time again. You don't have to buy a Son.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy, these hyper expensive players. You can go find Chichos. You get 2 or 3 Chicho-esque players on a team, you're totally fine. You're competing.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I'm fine if we go get $2-3 million players. It would probably do us well, and they would fit in just fine. Like I don't see an issue with that, or a $7 million player, right? Like it's plenty of money for an RSL type team to get playmakers or not playmakers, game changers, right? Someone that'll level up the team. It's plenty of money, and that's just GAM. We're not talking about other ways to acquire players either. So this is just one mechanism.
And that GAM most likely comes from, so obviously with the way that the news and the new rosters rules and the new GAM rules that Major League Soccer set up a couple years ago as far as transfers within the league happens, GAM can be utilized for that a lot. And so I think a lot of that money comes from Brian Ojeda moving on, using to Orlando using GAM. And then, of course, Brian Vera moving on to Montreal using GAM, and so that's a lot where a lot of that money comes from. But it's there for Real Salt Lake to use for this season. So we'll see what kind of moves Real Salt Lake make. Another thing that Real Salt Lake has available to them this offseason, Josh, is the DP spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're still waiting for official confirmation. We're still waiting for official reports to come out. But it has been said that Pablo Mastroeni, I think he went on a radio station and he said that the team is no longer counting on Ruan Cruz and Diogo Gonçalves heading into next season.
Beautiful.
So you have two DP spots that are open heading into this offseason now. Too, again, we're at a point where everybody's in Europe, and it would have been nice to have those players there with them in preseason. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen now. But two DP spots open that you can bring in somebody before the window closes.
And a couple U22 initiatives, no?
That's right.
Yeah.
Dominic and Diego are the only ones right now on U22 spots. So you have the way that the rule works with Major League Soccer. Again, refresher for those of you who for anybody new, I guess. For those of you who have been around the league who know this already, but two DP spots, four U22 spots. That is the roster model that Real Salt Lake utilizes. Other teams in MLS can use 3 and 3, but Real Salt Lake likes to use the 4 and 2 to focus on bringing in younger guys.
Yeah, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
But let's utilize it. Let's do it. Right? I could see, Luna getting a contract renewal end up being one of the DPs. But let's spend the money. Let's bring in another DP. Let's use all of our GAM and let's fill those U22 initiative spots.
Absolutely.
That's your starting 11, right? We have, 50% of the starting 11 solid right now. You could really build this team up quite well with the money available. But the best thing you said in that entire sentence prior to my spiel was that we are no longer counting on Diogo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not? He deleted all RSL stuff, right?
Yeah, so I think the rumor initially came from that somebody online. I want to say it was Hayden Nielsen from the Royal Riot.
Okay.
He put it out there, and everybody kind of caught wind of it that Diogo had removed everything Real Salt Lake off his Instagram. It got out there quick, so the rumor was quickly spreading that Real Salt Lake and Diogo had parted ways. Still waiting for something official, right? As far as and even Ruan Cruz, who I think has officially been listed on Ludogorets's roster, still nothing from the club. Right? Still nothing from Real Salt Lake Sen. However, the preseason roster did not have Ruan Cruz on it, so already I think Ruan Cruz was already out the door at that point. Diogo's still on the roster, but as mentioned, right, he removed everything off his social media. He removed everything, any mention of Real Salt Lake off his socials. And Pablo Mastroeni was asked about it, and he didn't necessarily say directly he wasn't counting on Diogo, but he kind of moved on from the Diogo part and said we'll have some spots to fill in this offseason. So still waiting for official confirmation, still waiting for anything to come out from the club side, but Diogo and Ruan no longer part of Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, all signs point that way, yeah.
Whether that means Diogo's in the on the roster, but not necessarily with the team anymore. A Lorenzo Insigne situation, I think would be worst case scenario. Just cut him loose, man. Whether that's the transfer, whether that's cutting out that contract, whatever you got to do, cut it loose. You move on. But Diogo, again, no longer part of Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, he'll go down as the biggest flop we've had, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah. Expectation-wise, money-wise.
Yeah.
Length of stay-wise, obviously there's your Sam Johnsons, your Ortuños.
Yeah.
They were never, I don't think, expected to do what Diogo was expected to do, especially coming into the team that he came into. So.
Was the expectation ever too high for Diogo?
I think it was up there. I mean, being a DP, coming in, joining Chicho and Crooks, right?
Right.
He was supposed to make that attack so much more lethal, right? And if he would have been good, if he would have turned out, Chicho going dark when he did wouldn't have affected us as badly.
Yeah.
Right? But Diogo wasn't even seeing the field. But that was the guy we were counting on him to be on the field, right? He was supposed to be there in case someone went down. It just was a bad idea.
There was
Not a
that
bad
time
idea.
there, yeah. There was that time there mid-season where it was being touted as a hamstring injury, but then Jason Kreis comes out and says, "Hey, he's actually not on the field for disciplinary reasons."
Yeah.
And there was that whole mystery of a situation. So I mean,
Which just so happened to come up after a certain meme was posted. Anyway,
uh, not at all what anybody was expecting out of Diogo. I don't think it was in. I don't think it ended up being a great relationship.
no, he
Off
clearly
on the
hated it
field,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the field, I don't necessarily know if he enjoyed being in Salt Lake, and so better to move on. But I think with again alluding to comments Pablo Mastroeni has made with filling in some spots, it seems like they are going to whether again that be a termination of contract, whether that be a sale to somebody. It seems like Diogo is moving on, and you'll have that DP spot available. Josh, you brought up a really good point earlier, though. Diego Luna is up for contract renewal, and I think potentially we will see one of those spots filled up with the Diego Luna.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll have potentially Diego Luna taking up one of those DP spots, which of course in turn opens up a deep U22 spot.
Right. It works out.
So, actually, I forgot about Ari Pule. So you actually only have one open right now.
Right, but if Diego moves up, then we get his.
Yes. Yep. So right now, as it stands, Real Salt Lake have two DP spots open with Ruan Cruz and Diogo moving on. One U22 spot open, and then Luna, Pule, and Dominic taking up the other U22 spots. Which, by the way, Dominic Marchik coming back to Real Salt Lake tells me two things.
Okay.
One, the club still believes in him.
I still believe in him.
The coaching staff still believes in him, which is a good thing, right? It's not a bad thing at all. Two, it indicates to me that, and alongside Lucas Engel, which is a transfer that Real Salt Lake did get over the line and is now a part of Real Salt Lake, there's a formation change coming, Josh.
I think so too.
I think Real Salt Lake is moving to a back three, and I say that because Lucas Engel and Dominic Marchik played together in Cincinnati last season, and Cincinnati and Pat Noonan love to run a three center back look, with Dominic bombing up the right wing and Engel bombing up the left wing. So Engel has experience playing that left wing back side and the left center back side. Plus, you have Dominic, who I think will move back. I don't know if Real Salt Lake's necessarily counting much of him into as far as like a right winger, right attacker goes, like the role you see Gozo play.
That'll stay Gozo. So he'll be a right wing back.
It's gonna be a right wing back, which Cincinnati used him while he was on loan last season.
Right, and then it just juices up that attack even more. It's fine.
Pablo has alluded to formation changes, tactical changes, and I think that's one that you will see right off the rip. It's a three center back look with the two wing backs, Diego Luna and Gozo pinching in more centrally, and so I am excited to see that change.
I am too.
I think defensively, Real Salt Lake really struggled last year. This is a move that Pablo says will help Real Salt Lake defensively, and I think if you want to look at it and look at a system that almost will compare to Real Salt Lake, I think they're trying to copy the Crystal Palace model.
That makes sense.
I think they're trying to go a little bit of what Crystal Palace uses and what they've been able to find in their success.
They're gonna need an enforcer then.
Yeah,
they're gonna need a CDM if they're gonna make this work.
Yep, and I think
and another center back.
I think that's where Real Salt Lake is lacking right now. Is if they're gonna make that 5-3, or excuse me, the 5-2-3 look, or the 5-4-3 look, however you want to call it, however you want to roll it out. Regardless, you need some reinforcements in that middle of the park, in that spine, because that's where Real Salt Lake's lacking the most if they do decide to make this, or I guess when they make this switch.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one, which makes me excited. That's like my favorite position to watch, so that's dope. But that's definitely an area of need.
Yeah,
and I think a center back as well. If you're playing three center backs, how many do we have right now?
Right now you have technically, right now you technically have Engel, you have Junka, you have Glad, you have Quinton, and you have Henry.
Yeah, we need one more.
I think you need one more. So then that way too, you free up the ability for Lucas Engel to play both left wing back and left center back, and you're not
Right. Because
relying him
because
to.
Petranis is still here as well. So
Which, by the way, I know I said I would be shocked if he's going to stay,
it looks like he is.
but I think he's staying.
And I'm shocked as well.
I am shocked.
I
Yeah.
thought for sure he was out of here.
Yeah. Which honestly, though, I think he's perfect for that left wing back role.
Because 100%. I mean, he's been doing that, right?
Right.
Just
and at any time that Realsek has looked the best in attack last season was when Petranis was bombing up the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice to have options on the left. I guess Dominic is now your option on the right with Yedlin.
Yeah. I think you need a little bit more there because truly,
you need more there.
Yeah, truly. While I think Quentin did a fine job at right back,
not that role, not what you're asking him to do.
He's not. You can't bomb up and down the field, and that's no disrespect to Quentin because I actually kind of liked what he brought to the team last season.
I loved what he brought, but you can't expect a 6'8" dude.
He doesn't have the speed.
Right. He wasn't built for that.
Yeah, he does not have that speed to be bombing up and down the sideline like that.
Right.
So I think
that's the little guy position.
Yeah, I think maybe Kobe Henry. You probably can see him there, but even then, I think you need more at the right back or at the right wing back position.
I'd agree. Man, you know who would really be fun for this team right now? Like Who's if that? We could go back and pluck a player and drop him in, João Plata.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I wonder if he'd be a decent right wing back.
I don't know about wing back.
Just the speed. I just miss the speed, man.
The bombing up and down the field, absolutely. Yeah. You could probably throw him at like what they would call the right wing spot and the left wing spot, and I put that in quotation marks because it's really not. It's more of a pinch-in, centrally creative type role that I think you're going to see Gozo and Luna pinch there. I mean, look at what's his face? The guy who just went to Arsenal from Crystal Palace. Oh, what's his name? Who?
I'm just thinking of the center back that went to City.
No. The winger, Eze.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you said just now, like this winter window, bro.
No. I mean, it feels like just now. Okay,
throwing me off, dog. Shoot.
The Crystal Palace winger who just went to Arsenal, like that's what you're gonna be looking for Luna to do, and the role that he played. Right, he was out wide, but he also did a lot pinching in centrally and being that creative cog. And I think that's exactly the role that Diego Luna is going to take. He's going to take that as a role that made Crystal Palace so successful last season.
Yeah, I think I would be totally fine with it.
And then obviously you'll see Gozo doing just about the same thing on the right. The person that I think I'm really excited about, and I don't think we've given him enough credit yet, is Victor Olatunji, man.
I'm so stoked to see what he can bring this year.
Even if it is just the one striker look, with those two guys pinching in, I think that's
the archetype striker you want for that.
Yes,
system.
1,000%. The physical, big-bodied striker who's going to bring
hold it up if he needs to. Can go attack it in the air. Yeah,
absolutely. Hold it up. You give Luna some space in behind, some Gozo some space in behind. That's 1,000% the type of player you want. And I think that he's going to be with an actual preseason under his belt, right? I think he's going to be a phenomenal striker for Real Salt Lake.
Right. Well, and hopefully, with a slight formation change or some adjustments, we can figure out how to actually feed our strikers, right? Because they were pretty starved long stretches last season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very stoked for him. And honestly, like in my heart of hearts, I'm really hoping Ari Piol can have a coming out party this year.
That'd be awesome.
I really want him to be successful,
especially for somebody who's taking up a U22 spot. I mean, we've had the conversation before. Like he needs to step up,
right?
And if not, you got to find a loan for him out pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Even if it's USL, back to the A-League, I don't care. Got to get minutes.
At his age and I think at the point where he's at developmentally, like he just can't be sitting on the bench. And with the roster designation spot that he has, being the U22, you just can't have that sitting on the bench.
Have we were talking about central midfield. Was Palacio on the preseason roster? I didn't even think about that one.
That's a great point. He was not.
Interesting. That's the U22 spot if he comes back, no?
Yeah. Yes. if he comes back. However, it sounds like the loan is until the summer.
Oh, okay.
So I think Real Sec will cross that bridge when they get to that bridge. But don't count on Nelson Palacio in the early parts of the season, just because I think that loan will go through the summer.
Yeah. And honestly, you would think that if he was in the long-term plans, they would have recalled him.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I really like Nelson Palacio.
I'd be curious to see how he fits into this new system.
I mean, he could be that holding midfielder.
He could be your enforcer, but I think a lot of times when he was on the field carrying that enforcer role, I think that's when we saw the most mistakes out of Nelson.
He was very mistake giveaway prone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to find another Kyle, man. That's what we need right now. Tyler Adams, that would be nice.
You got some DP spots open, man. Would you use a DP spot to try to bring in that enforcer, to try to bring in that pivot that will stay back and defend, but also be the linchpin between your defense and your attack?
All day long. That's such a crucial role.
And I think Ojeda played it phenomenally.
Right, he did a great job. The only spots I really don't love a DP designation is like your outside backs, your goalkeeper. That's where I have issues with it. Everything else, anything in the spine, I know the goalkeeper is part of the spine, but the rest of it I'm fine with. Goalkeeper, there's plenty of quality. You don't need to go DP.
Yeah, I mean, look at Cabral.
Right. It's highly unnecessary, right? The DP goalkeepers you see, the Tim Howards, the Zach Steffens, I don't see the benefit of the spend.
Yeah.
And then outside backs, not saying they're not important, but like
most DP players that have come in at the outside back have not been great.
And again, like you can find very good outside backs outside of a DP conversation.
Yeah. Rumors. It's been quiet on that front, man.
So quiet. And that's the concerning bit.
But
there's no way they got that good at keeping stuff quiet.
I will say that with them in Europe at the moment, they have people in places.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of visits happening.
And they got irons in the fire. And I think a big reason why they wanted to head back to Portugal this preseason is to be able to bring in somebody back with them,
or to make sure Diogo got there.
that could be. I'm curious to see. I mean, obviously, he hasn't been in any of the pictures. He hasn't been in any of the videos that they've pumped out for preseason. Curious to see if he made the trip for a move or if he's still here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder where he's at.
I hope he's there.
Yeah.
Forever.
The only rumor that I've heard and the only thing that I've heard is that irons are in the fire, Josh.
Yeah, it's such a boring rumor. I have a feeling they're just gonna hit it with us. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe we'll get something tomorrow because stuff loves to come out right after we've done a show.
That is true. So literally recorded it last time, saying nothing has happened, and then everything happened.
Everything.
Yeah.
The Gozo rumor. There's so many things.
Oh yeah. Hey, how about that?
I would rage. I'm sorry.
How about Xavier Gozo to Aston Villa?
Can go there and just go on loan and rot like we've said we don't want to happen to Luna.
Yeah.
Very against it.
I'm against it too, and I think I'd be concerned if there was a Villa scout at the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any boots on the ground, do we?
Nope. Unfortunately not. I don't know anybody with the European passport. Yeah, Josh, do you have a European passport?
I have a U.S. passport.
Well, you gotta have KSL send you out there next season.
I mean, it would be incredible if Gozo got a move. Yeah, KSL's never gonna send me there for that, or else the players would kick me out themselves. I would love. I mean, if Villa's offering the right amount of money, sure, right, but it's got to be a lot of money, like 10 mil plus
for the right price, man. For the right price.
For the right price, yeah. But you just then hope Gozo can get over there, get us a solid loan somewhere, really get some time, it would be incredible if he worked his way into Villa's, starting 11 and became a Premier League legend. That would be absolutely incredible. The odds just are against anyone at that point. But I don't know. For the right amount of money, I'd be convinced. But if we let him go to Villa for $3 million, slap in the face.
I think the only other rumor I've heard or seen, and this is very unconfirmed, but Ian Frey potentially interested in joining Real Salt Lake. That's the Inter Miami center back, but I think that got figured out with Lucas Engel joining Real Salt Lake. There was also a left back from Brazil, and I also think that got figured out with Lucas Engel joining Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, I really genuinely don't see any other defensive help pieces coming in this window. I think they're going to do something else moving forward.
Yeah, but you need a center back.
Attack. I know you do, but we've heard Kurt Schmidt isn't prioritizing that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll with that. They're going to bring in another attacker or winger because that's what we love.
Yep.
And the other one has to be a defensive midfielder. Like that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, I think with your DP spots and with what Real Salt Lake is opening up, I could see them utilizing a DP spot for that center defensive mid role, and to be your true Beckerman, to be your true enforcer, and then probably bring in some help in the attack.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, helping the attack is a good idea if we are losing Cruz and Diogo, right? That's essentially two DPs in your attack that are going away. So,
well, I mean, the reality is in the attack right now, you have at striker, I mean, you have Olatunji, you have Piol, you have Barea, you have Zambrano, who we've yet to see suit up for
right. And that's a lot of question marks.
At the right wing spot, you have Gozo, you have Wolf, you have Cowell, you have Herzakani, which two of those guys we haven't seen suit up for us. So like one of those guys got his spot taken on the bench by Gozo, and then Gozo obviously made his way onto the field. And then on the other side, you have Booth and Luna.
Yeah, I think it's got to be that striker spot. Honestly, you need something solid either ahead of or behind Olatunji. One injury, one red card, dude. It's very unknown suddenly. That or on the right, striker or on the right, or someone that can do both. That's where my head's at.
I think that DP player that if they decide to bring in a DP level player, they're going to bring in somebody who can play all three,
and that's totally fine.
Yeah,
that's preferred, to be honest. But
it was supposed to be Ruan Cruz, right? Because Ruan Cruz played all three, but obviously that didn't work out. So
which is a bummer. I had high hopes for him. I liked him.
Yeah, but the way that I've never heard Pablo throw a player under the bus the way that he did to Cruz in that post-game press conference after they lost to Portland.
True, which is wild.
Which, first of all, like, I like the fire, I guess. But going after your guy like that,
especially when other guys have performed
worse,
way worse, right? Like,
yeah, just the way that he just steamrolled Ruan Cruz in the post-game press conference. Like, I mean, you kind of felt that it was over. I wanted to hold on to hope that he would have until the summer to prove everybody wrong, but
he don't.
You move on. You move on to the next player, and Pablo Mastroeni has come out and has said that if they can find the linchpin to connect the attack with the defense, which we were just talking about is a massive need, and then you can bring in somebody who can play across the front three and be creative and find the back of the net, and be able to support your forwards and your attack, then I think Real Salt Lake is in better shape than it was maybe even 3 weeks ago.
I would agree. Those signings are key though, and they need to come soon.
Absolutely. Real Salt Lake taking on Randers again Thursday morning at 8 a.m. That is your first preseason game. Very excited to see how this back five looks. And very excited to see how similarly it will be modeled to that, like we mentioned, what you saw from Crystal Palace last season and what you see from them this season. So, have you been keeping up with what's happening around the league, man?
A little bit. Mostly just annoyances towards Miami is what I've been paying attention to. Clearly, they've got some kind of wizardry going on down there. I know their ownership's willing to spend, but like, where's the rules? You know what I mean?
How about the report coming out from Tom Bogert this morning that says that Inter Miami made a bid for Denny Bouanga that was rejected by LAFC?
I think the league would have collectively imploded.
13 million, about 13 million for LAFC star Denny Bouanga. Bouanga doesn't want to leave. LAFC rejected it. He wants a new contract with LAFC. But imagine the craziness that would have happened if Inter Miami would have secured Denny Bouanga.
I think teams would have started putting hits out on players and been like, break his leg today. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Look, at what point? Like, look at the LA Galaxy 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They win MLS Cup, have to sell a quarter of their team to stay roster compliant, have the worst season ever the following year.
And I don't think that they're going to be very much improved from that this next season.
No. So, but like, why did they have to do that? But Inter Miami can just seemingly do whatever they want.
Yeah.
There's no way they're staying in roster compliance.
Yeah. I understand. No, I understand you open up two GP spots, right, with Busquets and Alba retiring. And I get Suarez took a pay cut, but you still have Rodrigo De Paul, who had to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
You still have the winger Allende, who had to be paid.
The guy from Monterrey.
Now you have the guy from Monterrey coming in who has to be paid, and it's like, where...
You have Messi still.
You
have Dane St. Clair.
Yep.
They're bringing in the top guys. They're not all taking pay cuts.
Exactly.
It seems fishy. I remember, if I remember correctly, after the 2009 MLS Cup, or maybe it was after 2013, it was in that era. Like, the league gave RSL like special breaks to keep Will Johnson and Ned Grabavoy, right? Like, that's wild.
And right prior to that, or the season entering 2013, you had to move on from Olave, you had to move on from Espindola.
Right.
Right? Legendary players, just because...
LAFC had to let go of Chicho.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But they're loaded up, man. They're loaded up, and I think anything less than a CONCACAF Champions Cup with that roster is a massive failure.
Yeah.
Massive failure.
Yup. I get it. Appreciate that their ownership wants to spend money. And that, other teams potentially could too, I guess. But would the league let them spend like Miami spending? I don't think so.
What's going on with Josh Sargent, bro?
I don't think he wants to be in England anymore.
He doesn't. He's trying everything he can to make a move to Toronto, but Norwich is playing bad guy.
I mean, I don't know both sides of the story. It seems like that relationship soured quickly, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when a team who's supposed to be competing for a championship in the championship is actually in the relegation zone. Josh Sargent, and plus I think Sargent realizes that it is a World Cup year.
He needs to get home.
And he's got to do something to boost his stock, because right now I don't see him making that roster. For how good he was last season, for how, successful he's been with Norwich or whatever, his stock hasn't risen, I don't think, very much in Pochettino's eyes. And he's got to do anything and everything to find a roster spot. So come back to MLS. Toronto wants him. He wants Toronto.
Would be great here. Just saying.
I'd take him.
Yeah.
I'd take him. But he wants Toronto. And Toronto's doing everything they can to get him. But Norwich is playing hard to get.
Stupid.
Yeah. What else has happened? Oh, Joao Klaus, dude.
Yeah, to the Galaxy?
To the Galaxy.
Wild.
That one's a head scratcher.
He looks like he would fit in well in a Galaxy jersey, though. He just seems like a Galaxy player.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at it from the soccer perspective, like,
LA is stupid for picking him up.
Massively injury prone this last season. Doesn't seem like the Joao Klaus that came into Major League Soccer even 2 years ago?
No, he's not 21.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that move for the Galaxy. I think it's a great move for St. Louis. You open up a DP spot.
Oh, I love the move for the Galaxy too. Right? I don't mind them taking a flyer and potentially not having it work out. That doesn't
Yeah,
bother me.
that's true. That's true. I think it's a bad move for LA, but
Well, it's a
time will
terrible move, but I'm okay with it.
yeah, time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will
That
tell.
feels like it would have been an RSL move, not gonna lie.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. That would have been
Yeah.
an RSL move under the old regime.
100%.
Under Craig Wable.
Uh-huh.
Craig Wable would have 1,000% made that move.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Austin FC signing Facundo Torres. This is the former Orlando man, had found some crazy success in Orlando, flopped in Brazil, and now is making his way back to MLS as Austin's new DP player, which I love that move.
Yeah, it's a great move for Austin.
I thought Facundo Torres in MLS was phenomenal. I was sad to see him when he left. Sucks that he failed in Brazil, but glad that he's back in MLS. Just sucks that he's with the Western Conference team.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real though, Alex. Like, it's always going to feel like the other teams are picking up everybody. That's just our life.
Yep. A lot of big moves, a lot of crazy moves happening around MLS. I highly suggest you go take a look at Tom Bogert's feed. The best at keeping everybody updated with what's happening around MLS and all the moves happening around MLS. And we're just waiting for the Bogert bomb for RSL men. Just give us anything.
Well, hopefully January 22nd, 2026 will be the day.
Just give us anything, Tom. Real quick, I want to end it with this. I don't know if you saw this, Josh, but this is the most craziest story that I read online last night, right as I was going to bed. Do you remember Adrian Heath, former MLS coach, Minnesota United head coach?
Of course.
Adrian Heath sat down with The Athletic a little bit ago and put out a story about how he was offered a job interview in Saudi Arabia, flies into Morocco, gets into a car to go to said interview, and is kidnapped, bro.
What?
Kidnapped in Morocco. He's kidnapped. He's taken to some apartment. He's in this apartment for like 3 days. They call his wife. They want money. But him and his wife stick to the story of Adrian needs to be in the States to transfer money, so they can't actually get the money. They hold him to like knife point to try to get money out of Adrian Heath. And then it's actually his son, what's his son's name? I can't remember his son's name.
I don't know.
It's actually his son, who was a former MLS player, who and his wife, who's Caitlin Kyle, the MLS Apple TV studio host.
Yeah.
Caitlin Kyle, who says, "Oh, well, have you guys tried the Find My Friends app?" Pulls up the app, finds his location, and has to send it over to FBI and the authorities to try to get Adrian Heath back from the kidnappers.
That's wild.
It is one of the most insane stories I've ever read. I never thought that this would happen to somebody tied into the league like that, like Adrian Heath. But if you haven't read the Athletic article, Paul Tenorio put it out yesterday. I highly suggest you go read it. It is such a wild story.
Yeah, I'll be giving that a gander. That's crazy.
Adrian Heath, man, got kidnapped heading to Morocco.
Just one other thing we got to talk about.
What's that?
We going to rebrand, Alex? And I don't mean we as in the RSL show, but I mean we might be forced to if the team is rebranded.
Oh, I totally forgot about the survey. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you have. It's up on our social medias. There is a survey being put out by the Miller Entertainment Group, the new ownership, asking for your thoughts, your opinions, and your feedback on Real Salt, on Utah soccer. So RSL, the Royals, the Monarchs. A lot of questions about the brand, Josh.
A lot. It absolutely feels like they're thinking about it.
Yeah. Similarly to what Colorado did a couple months ago, right? The Colorado Rapids put out a similar survey asking their fans and to give their feedback, their voices, and to voice their opinion about the Colorado Rapids brand. This feels very similar to that.
Yeah, if it's not leading to something rebrand-esque, then it was an absolutely pointless survey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if enough people say they don't want it, they don't want it.
True. I bet you a lot of people want it. I'm curious.
What boat are you on, Josh?
I'm on a weird boat, like in between both shores. Like, don't get me wrong.
Islands.
If RSL wasn't my team, I would probably make fun of the name, right? That does sit with me. It's a silly name. It's unique for Utah, clearly. But I prefer it to Utah FC, Utah SC, Utah United, any local comp team esque name, right? I 100% prefer RSL to anything like that. And as we've seen with all of the rebrands in the last 10 years and any new teams coming in, it's a traditional type name, right? So I'm on the I don't want to change the name fence, but I would love some kind of logo refresh. You know, little new panache. You know,
give a little pizzazz.
Little pizzazz. That's the word I was looking for. I was really confusing myself there. But yeah, just I don't know, give it some kind of update. You know, maybe get a better secondary crest or use the secondary crest. There's lots of things you could do, but I don't know what you would name this team. We already saw how big of a process that was for the Mammoth, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of a single name outside of Saltaire FC. See me if you want to buy that. Being a name I would enjoy. Right.
I'd take Saltaire FC.
Right, but they would they're asking about brand recognition.
Yeah.
Worldwide, no one's gonna know what that is.
That's
right.
True.
So
that's true.
Yeah, I don't want a new name, but I like a refresh.
That's the thing though too, is like if they do what worldwide thing does Utah have that would be like an international brand?
Well, that's where it would just be, the very specific questions. Do you consider this Utah's team or do you consider this Salt Lake City's team?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. So that to me is signaling, do you want us to call it Salt Lake City United or Utah United? Right. Like that's where my head goes.
I think overall for me, I'm anti rebrand. Do not rebrand. I'm on the no rebrand train.
Refresh though. You want to see a little boosted logo, or are you just good with the same old same?
You know what? I like the RSL logo. I actually quite enjoy it.
And I wouldn't mind the soccer ball changing a bit.
And if you change it, you're giving into this Indian train company who stole your logo.
True. True.
Let's not forget about the train company.
Yeah.
You're giving into them and saying you can have our logo.
I mean, it can always be your secondary logo. I just think an updated badge would be great. Could be great. It's not guaranteed to be great. That's the other thing that's scary.
I'm just on the I'm on the no rebrand train because I don't think and I don't trust MLS the creative heads of MLS to do anything outside of FC, SC, United.
Yeah, and the same boring logos.
Yeah. I think that's why I'm against it, because I really think if you do decide to go rebrand, I just don't know what you would change it to. That's not SC, FC.
That's my biggest hang up as well. If there was something that we've all been pining for years, then everyone would be champing at the bit, right? But there's really not. There's really not.
Then I'm a big fan of the colors. I'm a big fan of the color scheme. I like.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the colors to change.
I like the claret red, the cobalt blue, the the gold yellow or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the color scheme, and I mean they just spent millions of dollars refreshing the stadium to have that color everywhere, have those colors everywhere. So I mean, there's no need to change the colors.
Just invest on the pitch.
And I think that's what a lot of people have given feedback for. And a lot of people have put into that survey too is, I mean, just from what I've seen online, big shout out to our guy Grizz. Grizz is like, look, there's no matter. It doesn't matter what the brand is as long as you're going out there, you win. Put some money into the product, and people will follow the brand.
100%. The brand is fine if you're winning.
Absolutely.
And honestly, like I know I said if I wasn't an RSL fan, I'd make fun of the name. As an RSL fan, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's our name.
Yep.
There's a silly history to it, and it makes no sense in 2026. But in 2005, it was like, oh, okay. It's weird, but okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You win, people follow the brand. And
just like when you win, people buy the jerseys. Yeah. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, you win. You put a competitive enough product out there, and Utah will show up.
Right. They
look at the
Jazz. Look at the Mammoth.
Look at the Mammoth. Absolutely.
Utah, BYU, the Bees, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Utah State.
Yeah. You put something out there on the pitch that's competitive enough, that's not settling for the bare minimum of making it sneaking into a play-in spot, and people will follow the brand. People will be there for the brand.
Right. Well, and like I know there's a question on there. I think it was like what moments in Utah sports like stick with you, right? And for me it was like obviously Stockton and Malone. Like when I think of Utah sports, Stockton and Malone, right? That was one of the first ones.
That's probably the
2009 MLS Cup, right?
Yeah.
That is our only championship.
Yep.
And a handful of other small things, but like...
And a handful of people don't recognize that as a championship.
They don't, and they're crazy. They're stupid. That's all I have to say for them. Like, we won one before the Jazz, and we'll probably win another one before the Jazz. So sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
The Jazz are eternally cursed, bro.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And they're doing a bad job at tanking this year, too. They're winning some games they're not supposed to win.
Never say never, man. In my lifetime, in our lifetime, Josh, we'll get a Stanley, we'll get an NBA, and we'll get an MLS. Another MLS.
Oh, that'd be incredible. I'm just saying, like, this is the year they really need to get that good draft pick because there's a kid at a local college that would probably really love to play here and would probably be a superstar. So,
wonder who that is.
Yeah, I wonder.
Josh, anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to throw out there before we wrap this one up, man?
No, sir. I guess I'm excited for the season to start. Ooh, speaking of the season starting, I am so happy Apple TV has gotten rid of the subscription within the subscription. That is huge.
I know. And honestly, I think it's needed. It's a pivotal time in MLS.
Oh, absolutely. With the World Cup.
Soccer. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to capitalize, and you can't paywall people out of it twice. You're paywalling them once. You can't do it twice.
Yeah. Which I think for the most part, like, I know I think I know a lot of people with iPhones that have Apple subscriptions, that have Apple TV subscriptions.
Right. It's very common. It's not a weird niche one, right? It's not some random streaming service you've never heard of, right? It's on a major streaming service. So it's very common for people to have it or would be willing to get it because of other content on there.
Yeah. So, I mean, not just from the accessibility part of putting it behind two paywalls, but I mean, everybody has an iPhone, right? If you don't, no disrespect, but everybody has an iPhone these days. Anytime you buy an iPhone, it comes with 3 free months of the Apple TV subscription anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make it more accessible than it needs to be?
Yeah, between the World Cup and I bet you ratings for shows were not very good.
Probably not.
I'm very curious. Like, I'm going to look this up later, but how many subscribers they actually had to MLS Plus?
I don't know if we'll ever. MLS is very secretive, or not MLS. Apple is very secretive about those numbers. So I'm sure there's guesses out there, but I don't know if we'll ever get concrete data on those numbers.
I'm probably guessing way low, but I would be shocked if it was more than 500,000. That might be way low, but yeah, I can't see it. I can't see people outside of the markets wanting to subscribe to that just to watch MLS. If you don't have a team.
Yeah. Regardless, if you are a casual Real Lake fan, if you're a casual MLS fan, you don't have to worry about paying that extra money now. It's just part of your Apple TV subscription.
Yeah, now I can actually, tell my friends that aren't into soccer, hey, you should really watch this game, and it's not a whole ordeal.
Yep, absolutely. Very excited for 2026 to get underway. Very excited for the 2026 season to get started. I'm really looking forward to the formation change. We deep dove into it at the beginning of this episode, and I'm honestly excited to see what that brings, right? Because that's one of the things that we talked about with Pablo Mastroeni being stuck in his ways, not wanting to change the way this team played. But now it seems like he's open to making that change, along with some new coaches and new coaching staff. Um, I'm excited to see what that looks like. I'm excited to see the tactic change. I think more than anything.
We should also have a new home kit in the next 2-3 weeks.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for that. There's a lot of things to be excited for when it comes out to Real Salt Lake. There's a lot of things to look forward to when it comes to this 2026 MLS season, and we'll be there with you every step of the way, every week of the way, and we'll try to be on here breaking everything Real Salt Lake down for you guys again this season. So with that, I'm Alex. That's Josh. Thank you for listening to another edition of the RSL Show. That's going to do it for us here on the RSL Show. Don't forget to go like, don't forget to go subscribe, don't forget to go follow, don't forget to go do what you have to do to follow the RSL Show for the best RSL content. And we'll see you guys next week.